All right, welcome back to another episode of the Tight Lines and Brow Times podcast. Got my buddy Big Dave over here that still thinks Toyota is a good off-road vehicle, and my buddy Big John here who preps his hot dogs.
Yes,
he does.
The Sequoia's two-wheel drive.
He does.
We'll just put it that way.
It's two-wheel drive?
Yeah, it's two-wheel
That's
drive.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But Big John, hey, this guy here, he preps his hot dogs. Let me tell you something.
Only the best for my friends.
Let me tell you something. I said, man, what'd you do when you got home to work at 4 o'clock this morning? I prepped dinner. You're coming over, right? And I said, yeah, man, I'm coming over. He said, I said, bro, we're having hot dogs. Yeah, I prepped them. Yeah. And I'm like, how does anybody prep hot dogs? And I get over here, because he has little slices in his hot dogs so they cook evenly.
Bro, we had
all the way
Artisan dogs that night. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, you
Artisan?
came over that night.
Artisan? Artisan?
Kelly,
you're the coach.
I think it's Artisan. It's Artisan.
Artisan. We had Artisan hot dogs. It was awesome.
Only the best for my friends, man.
My bro prepped his hot dogs.
Those ballpark Franks.
Yes, sir. Yes, is there a special knife you use? Is there like a hot dog knife, or is it just a normal knife? And then we're moving on because I'm curious. Best hot dogs I ever had, hands down.
I'm glad you
they
liked
weren't
them.
greasy because the slices you put in them, man.
I'm glad you liked them, man. Only the best for my friends. No, there's not a special knife that I use. It's just a regular knife. Okay.
We were fishing.
Time out. Did you know there is something called a spam slicer, though? I found that out this week.
No, I didn't know
It's
that.
a special tool, and it's just for slicing spam.
Bro.
Really?
Put it up on Amazon, man. Blow your mind. Yeah.
Really?
I learned that from Lonnie Fuquay.
because if you're eating spam, you can afford to go on Amazon and buy a slicer. That's right. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people that are eating spam on a regular basis aren't in the market for a special tool to cut it up. Oh man! But anyway, welcome back, folks. Me and my buddy Big John, we fished a little tournament last weekend, Memorial Day. The lake was crowded.
Oh, but it was.
I mean, there were jet skiers out before the topwater bite fired off, and we got out there. Cutter was there too, and we got. Cutter calls me at 3 o'clock. No, I guess it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. He says, I'm on my way to the lake still. He says,
at 4 o'clock in the morning?
4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just leaving Chandler on my way to Tyler.
So let me back it up just real quick. So Friday I was working on him, trying to get him to fish it with us. Just joking because I thought there was no way he would fish it. So I had no idea that he was – he never said, yeah, I'm going to fish it, see you in the morning or anything like that. He was like, well, y'all have fun. He wasn't – last time I talked to him, he wasn't going to be there.
Was this like a legitimate tournament?
Oh,
or was
yeah.
this
It's
like
just
a friends
a little
thing?
It's a Saturday morning tournament they put
out there all the
Oh,
time.
the Tyler time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Okay.
So 4 o'clock in the morning, Cutter calls. He says, man, when's this goddamn tournament start out here? I'm out here and there ain't a soul in sight. And I said, dude, it's 3:57 in the morning. No, you're right. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
I mean, the marina doesn't open until 5:30. Well, he said they was having a tournament out here, and I'm out here, and there ain't a soul in sight. No, I don't doubt it because all the parties around there just died.
They're all asleep.
They're all asleep, and you're sitting out there in your truck eating Whataburger waiting on this to start. But we get out there, and Jonathan was pretty close to on time as far as Jonathan's standards go.
What are my standards?
15 minutes late.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It wasn't a big deal. But you were out there. Nobody got caught up in a rooster tail, and one of it, and I think you didn't.
Well, it wasn't a shotgun start, which is why we didn't call it.
Well, that's true, which I like.
Yeah,
I like a lot. But man, the fishing was tough, and I don't know if it was just the recreation traffic out there or what the deal was. But it was a struggle to get 3 keepers in the boat, and I mean, for some of us, it might have been a struggle to get 1 keeper in the boat. But I'm not naming any names.
Yeah,
but
Cutter had a hard time.
No, he had a keeper in the boat. It wasn't him I was talking about.
Well, that leaves one.
It does.
Yeah, Lucas.
It does. but it's that time of the year. But it is that time of the year where, I mean, it's just a fun time to fish. I mean, they're still hanging out shallow grass. You still catch them a lot of ways.
Now, I will say this. I'm the only one that gained something out of that tournament. I did get a prize out of that tournament. The only one that did that day.
Was it a list of things of what not to do?
No. It wasn't experience. It wasn't a good time. It was an actual legitimate prize. So we're fishing, and Lucas goes to get something out of the cooler in my boat, and my lid is broke. It just falls off. Like it just falls off. Well, he knows the guy up at Skeeter, the parts guy up at Skeeter, and he texts him. He took a video of my cooler and said, "What kind of product is this?" I thought Skeeter stands behind their products, and he flopped that lid over, and it fell off in the floor, and he videoed it, sent it to him. He said, man, those things are a piece of crap. I replace about 5 of them a week. He said, send me the part number. He'll have one as soon as I get back to work. So I got a new cooler lid out of the deal. So yeah.
Nice.
Let me ask you this: did you go back and pay for your parking permit that you forgot to that morning?
Yeah, I actually sent Lucas up there with the money. Sure did.
You did?
Yep. Did you?
Will he verify?
He will. Did you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I sent him up there with the money. You thought I was trying to skate out of that?
Hey, parking permit or launch?
Launch permit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I forgot to do it.
Well, I knew they charged a launch permit. I didn't know if they're
that's what I mean.
Inflation times were tough. Maybe they're charging for parking too. I don't know.
It is launch permit. We did forget that, but it was a good time. Good day on the water.
That's good. So out of the 3 of y'all that fished it, who did the best? I guess.
I don't think that's important.
Well, I mean, it's always a friendly tournament. Ben's
Yeah.
talked about this before. I mean, we took that win.
Well, I
from
would have
him.
done better than them.
Okay.
And that's fine.
No, I don't think he did better than Cutter.
Did anybody catch a fish to weigh in?
Cutter.
We didn't weigh. We did catch fish. We had a couple of keepers. We did not weigh them in. We
Nobody
left
weighed
it.
anything.
It was
Cutter's the only one that had one in the boat.
no. We had a couple in the boat. We just turned them loose.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, when I talked to you before, you had caught one and then y'all turned it loose because
that
it was
the
closed.
first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But no, it was not. Absolutely nothing to brag about whatsoever. It was a joke, to be honest with you. And we, I think I probably
I had
loaded
0
up.
in the boat. Did not catch one keeper. Caught 2 fish. We're not keepers.
Okay.
Good luck getting a following with fishing skills like that.
Well,
buddy.
bass fishing, I love to do it. It's a lot of fun. Not my strongest skill set.
Yeah.
right.
Same.
But-
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bass fishing, so we were over here for some poker a few weeks ago, and I came over early, hung out with Jon a little bit. We worked on a couple little side projects.
Oh, that was the night y'all paid my light bill. I remember that night.
No.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I went home empty-handed.
Yep.
My
You
pockets
did
went home
too.
very light.
That was the next.
No,
weekend.
that was
Oh, that's right.
because
That's
it
right.
was because
Yeah. Okay.
Ben and Mike made out like some bandits on
Yeah.
that one. Well, I came over early, and me and Jon were going to watch the baseball game, let the girls play up in the house, and watching the baseball game kind of turned into a romantical nap for me and Jon.
Romantical nap?
Well, I mean, we were in here together, the lights were off.
no.
But no, for
I
real.
wasn't here.
Separate
I wasn't
recliners.
here.
John says, well, I'm gonna set this alarm for about 4:30 just in case I fall asleep. He says
just in case I fall asleep.
he sets the phone down. Dude was out. I mean, in 3 seconds.
Well, it's a good thing I set the alarm then.
Well, later that afternoon, I had kind of wandered out into. I think you had made it here. You were here by then.
Yeah.
I wandered out into the shop, and I keep all my fishing stuff here at Jon's, so that way I don't have to drag stuff back and forth from my house. Well, Jon had taken my rods and reels out of the boat. I guess it was to make room for Lucas's stuff or something. Well, all my stuff just laid on the floor outside. I'm like, Jon, what the heck, man? Like, what's going on?
It's
unacceptable.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Unacceptable.
he says he was blowing out the shop
Yeah.
and everything fell over. Well, he was too busy to put it back up. So I slip
It
around
did.
there, start standing up my rods and reels on the wall. Well, I tell Jon to real calmly, hey, go grab me a board. There's a snake under the workbench out here. Well, I hear a door slam behind me, and I turn around, and Ben is looking through the window inside the man cave back out to the shop.
Recently?
Yes.
the night that we played poker.
Yeah.
Was there a snake out there?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was just
But all I
messing
had to do was say something about a snake, and you were gone,
You
dude.
shut the door and you were looking out through this window right here to see what was going on.
Bro, my little dog, my little Winnie dog brought a baby snake up to the house dead a couple of weeks ago. And when I weed eated 2 days later, I was mortified at anything. Sticks. I mean, everything I came up on, I was nervous about. Suckers, man.
Oh,
Trashy.
man.
So you and I got to participate in the kids fish with our daughters,
We sure did.
and man, it's a pretty cool experience. It's the city of Chandler does a really good job putting that
They
on
do.
for the kids. It's right here at the local park. Probably how many kids you think? Probably 100.
I would guess 150 probably.
Yeah,
Just-
150 kids.
yes.
And they put on a little tournament for them right there at the pond. They've got weigh stations set up all the way around the pond, and,
Oh,
and
nice. Did
there's-
anybody fall in?
not
Not
this
this
year.
year.
Not this year. Yeah.
So you're off to a good start.
Yeah. So this year was a lot better than last year because last year Jaden was playing too close to the water and slipped into the pond and fell in the pond. So, but anyways, so his daughter and I'll let you tell the story, but
if I remember it.
His daughter has got a hook set like no other, man.
Oh man, I was proud.
really?
Let me tell you.
I looked over several times. She caught the most fish that day. She was just in the spot, man. She was throwing that thing out there and I mean, wearing them out. How many fish you weigh in that day?
Well, okay, so she only weighed in 2, but I didn't realize until, and this is I guess my fault. I thought it was the biggest fish. They told us, and I found out later that you're supposed to weigh in.
Cumulative weight?
Well, yeah, when we were at Dairy Queen after the fact, taking the girls for ice cream, somebody said that. No, you like it's a combination of all the fish you weigh in. So we didn't weigh in like 4 of them because I thought I heard him say no matter what the size, big or small, and so I thought it was like the smallest fish got a prize and the biggest fish got a prize. So I weighed in her biggest and her smallest. So I may have kind of gypped her. And then she also caught a turtle too, and they had a trophy for those that caught a turtle.
Really?
Well, we threw the turtle back. I didn't realize that either. So I really kind of, I mean, it's one thing for me to shortchange my own fishing career. I've been doing it, but I really took away from her. I mean, she wanted a trophy so bad. I'm like, the turtle back.
Hey, dude, she was setting the hook on.
But I mean, she was coming out of the hole. I mean, that bobber going her, she
was ripping lips.
Mean, she was coming on with it.
She was doing awesome.
But
I like it.
But it's a really cool experience. All of our girls had a good time, and we really enjoyed it. They do a heck of a job putting that on. I think with all
they do that every year.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
One of the coolest things that came out of the tournament though was you don't know this, but Bailey won a fishing pole, and it was a purple fishing pole. Was it a
Zebco?
Was it a Zebco or a spinning reel?
It's a spinning reel Zebco.
Okay, so Zebco spinning reel, and she was really proud of that. So the next weekend we're going out. It was Memorial Day, same weekend we fished the tournament. My wife and I, we were out there on a Saturday morning, and first thing I did was I said, I'm gonna go fish this dock that was loaded with brush.
Yeah.
And we're out there fishing. John, we were supposed to meet at 7:30. He wasn't there, so we left 6:30. But he got there like this, only 15 minutes late, not a big deal.
Right.
But I called him and I said, man, I'm fishing like this place is loaded with brush. I'm getting bites, but I can't get a fish in the boat. So I said, come put your live scope in the water and just see what you got. And so I just kind of back off the dock, and he lays down and he eases up to it. And he puts his camera over the water. He's like, dude, it's loaded with fish up here. Like there's freaking fish coming up off the bottom and everything suspended. And he said, I'm going to try to catch one. He comes up out of the hole with that pink or that purple Zebco, because
I was trying to get one for Bailey, man.
He had Bailey with him, and that's what he had rigged up.
Oh, okay.
So he's sitting there with his live scope and his purple fishing pole,
trying to get one for Bailey.
trying to get one. I'm just sitting there the whole time, and he's just sitting there, very serious, but he's holding like a 5-foot purple fishing pole the whole time.
Stacy's got a picture of it. You can put in the.
Did you? Yes.
Yeah,
we'll get that. We'll get that for everybody else.
Good.
But no, the kids' fish tournament was good. I think all the girls won a little prize. All the girls caught a fish.
Yep.
And we all ate ice cream at Dairy Queen after the fact, which is always a big win for
It's our favorite
Does
part.
the pole say "Go Tigers" every time you sling it up in there?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I was gonna say send it back if it doesn't do that.
Well, let's take a quick break.
All right. All right, folks, we're back. So it's the middle of the year for us that lease land to hunt on. Chances are our dues have already been paid, and so the season really starts now. The prep work that it takes to get a stand going and get a lease going, and it's a lot of work. And for me, this is really one of my favorite times of the year, the anticipation leading up to season, right? At our lease with my dad, my brother, and John, Labor Day weekend is kind of the last stop for a lot of people.
Right.
And man, I'll tell you, every year we'll be out there just swamp butt, just straight up sweating our jeans down, wringing sweat out. And every year we're like, we're never doing this again.
Yeah,
we ain't never doing this again.
We're getting out here when it's cooler.
And every year,
December rolls around, you're sitting around a fire, you're like, man, this is freaking awesome.
well, every year Labor Day weekend rolls around and we hadn't done nothing on the deer lease. And
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah.
we got to go back out there and do it, right? But
So you got the deer that I've got a deer on camera that I got a picture of last year that I only saw one time on camera, and I'm pretty excited about. I mean, I know it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be miserable out there in that bottom, but I'm gonna get down there and do some work because the way this deer, the way I got him on camera, I'm facing the wrong way, so we got to really do some work down there.
yeah.
But man, that's what's keeping me going. I just want one opportunity at that deer.
Yeah, we need to get that stand turned around, or at least get another stand moved in there to where you can hunt that spot on a different angle. Because it's a slobber knocker. I'll tell you that. It's
right.
a big one.
It's a good deer.
And you've got a lot of sign in that area, scrapes and rubs and places that
All behind me.
you can't even look, and it's all behind you. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we got to get in there and do some work. But here we are. You know, it was Labor Day last year, and we were saying we ain't ever doing this again, man. We're gonna come out here in March when it's still cool outside.
Forgive me for bringing this up, but if I just don't know if this is a solution. I don't know if you've thought about this or not. Have you thought about turning your chair around?
No,
you can't. It's on a tree, so the tree's at my back, and you can't.
I just thought I'd throw it out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I just making sure you were.
You know, if it's like a 360 view situation, I get that, but
Okay.
it's like the stand's on one side of the tree. It's a huge tree.
Right.
I've got to be on the other side.
Right.
Yeah. And so we're going to get out there and do some work, and we may try to make a couple of videos or something for the YouTube channel to kind of some before and after kind of stuff to see what we come up with. So
What are your favorite parts about this time of year,
I
man?
don't know anything about it, man. Fishing.
Well, but you've been on a deer leash before.
Yeah.
Do you like the prep work
No,
and the?
I try to avoid it.
I
Try to avoid it.
tell you what he don't like is snakes.
Oh man, that's the worst part of it. I mean, maybe
It really is the worst part.
Maybe one of these days I'll get on a deer leash. It's not in the bottom. It's not a breeding ground
Around
for
here?
moccasins.
Around here, that ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
Well, you go west of here, and it's just nothing but copperheads and rattlesnakes. So
Well, I mean, the rattlesnakes give you a little bit of warning. But
that's true.
Them water moccasins, man, they're sneaky too.
Oh, they're aggressive.
Oh,
They'll
they're
chase
aggressive.
You.
You had one. Did you not have one chase a frog? Your frog at Lake Palestine last weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure
I don't
did.
know
Yep.
if you did.
Going
Yeah,
to
he
the
told me
lily
that.
pad. I forgot about that.
Taught me how to fish in lily pads.
Yeah, there was something coming up behind the frog because the frog was way away from me. There was something coming up behind it, and I was like, "What is that?" And then my frog would disappear, and the line would kind of go tight.
Yeah.
So I go to set the hook on whatever it was biting it, and the frog would pop back up, and that thing would, and so it got close to me enough to where I could see it was a snake grabbing it and taking
Right.
it.
Yeah, I'm just not that committed. I mean, to the work. I mean, if my deer stand's not going to go in an accessible place, I prefer to have a covered parking area for my 4-wheeler right beside my deer stand. If we're being honest. But
You're not into the whole roughing it thing.
no, I'm really not. I'm really a fan of stepping off of my 4-wheeler onto the first step of my stand. If we're being honest. And that, I mean, you just have to know the last place I had. I mean, it was
it was pretty bad.
It can't be as bad as Williams Creek for you though.
It's not.
We kill a cottonmouth every single time we step into those woods.
Yeah. Bad
That
deal.
is no lie. That is a lie.
Bad deal.
Well, one thing I want to
Enjoy
try to
the deer
change
sausage.
this year is getting my feeders going sooner and try to establish a pattern with the deer. A lot of times we don't get feeders
Or the
going.
hogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the
Or
pigs, yeah.
pigs, yeah. A lot of times we don't get feeders going until, like I said, Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you've only got 3 or 4 weeks until bow season gets going. So I'm going to try this year to see if I can't get my feeders going a little bit earlier this year and also get my cameras going a little bit earlier.
Well, part of the problem we have is if we cut back in early August, you'll get a lot of that stuff grown back by early September.
That's true.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
can drop the brush hog to the ground and come back in a month, and you're going to have quite a bit of junk back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Fortunately, from one of my stands, it's on a pipeline. And so
That helps, yeah.
the pipeline owner does maintain that a couple of times out of the year. So
Right.
chances are when we go in there in September, we just knock it down. But if you can at least get feeders going, I mean, the pigs will keep the ground cleared where the feeders are. I'll tell you, they will clear out some ground. Well, I'll tell you, on one of John's feeders, they just about dug holes.
Yeah.
We had a tripod feeder set up, and the ground was just too soft. Ended up breaking the legs on the feeder, so we had to put a hanging feeder in there. And that corn got down in those holes where the leg were, and they dug like a 3-foot hole in there trying to find that one kernel of corn.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is no lie. But talking about cameras and stuff like that, one thing that me and John started doing last year was making these little boxes. And I think we're going to do a little video on how to make these. But basically, this is like an extended life box for your trail cams.
Oh.
And it's pretty neat. It's just like a little ammo box. You can open it up. I keep my cameras inside there, little Spypoint, and it's got a little extension cable. And we just do like a little, I don't think you can see that, a little 12-volt battery inside there.
So what's the price comparison like? So Spypoint makes a lithium battery pack, longer lasting battery pack.
I don't trust them. I really don't. They're
I
about.
think those are 50. What does it take to put that together?
I can build this box right here for $25-$30.
And then you got another 20 for the battery, so you're almost
No.
at the. Oh, you're talking
that's
about
with the battery.
including the battery?
That's with the battery.
Okay.
The battery's about $20. The box is about $5 or $6. And then it's just a little port on the backside that your cable plugs into, and then a little cord that hooks up from the box to the camera.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see how much life you get out of your camera. If you just put 8 AA's and something like this,
man,
this one will last about a month.
Right.
Now they came out with a new Spypoint Flex,
and it
John
will
bought
not last a month.
2 or 3 of them.
Yep.
A
I
week.
brought 3 of them a week.
1 week on 8
Wow.
AA batteries.
And
Now,
like
the
us, we
advantage-
live 2.5 hours from our deer lease. So I mean, you've got to have batteries lasting longer than
Oh,
a
yeah,
week.
right.
on
Definitely.
camera.
Well, and that's the advantage. That's the advantage of having a cellular camera, is that you're not in the woods. If you're always going in the woods to check cameras, those deer know you're there.
Oh yeah.
100% know you're there. I had a deer last year that I was hunting. I had him patterned every single morning. He was hitting the same feeder. I would show up, hunt 3 days, never see him. The morning that I wasn't there, he's on the feeder.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those deer know that you're there. And so that's supposed to be the advantage of using a cellular camera, is that you don't have to go into the woods to collect your pictures. Well, if the thing doesn't run about a week, on
Right.
battery,
What else you gonna do?
what else you gonna do? So I put one of these on John's camera, and what did we get? A month,
Yeah.
5 weeks, something like that out of
Yeah.
it.
Well, the one we had on the feeder, which was taking a lot of pictures, we got about a month. The one that we had that was kind of on a trail that wasn't necessarily on a feeder, we got a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Like 2 months. 2.5
Yeah,
months.
on the Spypoint links, I'm getting like 3 months out of those. Whereas on a pack of batteries, it was about 3 to 4 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah, so he put those together last year, and it really kind of saved me because we put those cameras out, and a week later they were all dead,
Dead.
and I didn't really have enough. I mean, I didn't want to go buy a $50 battery pack for each camera.
yeah, and again, that was Labor Day weekend. So John's going into opening weekend of deer season blind. He has no idea. He's got 2 stands. Which stand does he hunt? He doesn't know because he has no pictures.
That's the way to go.
So we'll
No
put
doubt,
together
man.
a little video, show people how to build that. Hopefully save you some money, save you some time. So it's
Excellent.
fun.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Tight Lines and Brow Tines podcast.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook.
And if there's any questions you guys have, feel free to send us an email at tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com. Again, that is tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com.
Until next time, stay safe,
And
stay outdoors.
All right.